When people think of moving to Tirana, they usually imagine living right in the center of the city, Skanderbeg Square, the big museums, all the famous landmarks.
But for most of us who actually live here, the center isn't where life happens day to day. It's more the cultural heart. Great to visit, but not where you'll be hanging out all the time.
In this first neighborhood tour, we're taking you around the places you'll definitely want to know about, the main spots in Tirana center that shape the city's history and rhythm.
So you can get a feel for what's here and decide whether being close to the center really matters for your move.
We're starting our tour right here in Skanderbeg Square, the main square of Tirana and pretty much the symbolic center of Albania.
It's named after the country's national hero, Skanderbeg. That's the guy on the horse in the middle of the square. His full name is, well, Jess can probably say it better than I can.
Oh, sure, let me try. Jess Kastrioti Skanderbeu. Learning Albanian names is a workout, but you get there eventually. The statue's been here since the 1960s, and the square itself was redesigned in 2017 using stone from across Albania. It's a huge open space that hosts everything from concerts and festivals to protests and public gatherings.
It's one of those places that always feels alive. Whether it's packed for an event or completely empty, you can still feel the weight of the history around you.
And right at the edge of the square is the National History Museum, the one with the giant mosaic across the front.
It's the biggest museum in Albania, opened in 1981, and it covers everything from ancient Illyrian artifacts to modern history.
The mosaic's called The Albanians. It tells the country's story through different eras: independence, resistance, and pride. It's actually been closed for renovation most of the 6 years I've lived here, so I still haven't been inside, but it's one of those landmarks everyone recognizes instantly. It's pretty much the face of Skanderbeg Square. As we head across the square, you'll see the Tirana International Hotel, once a simple white landmark, now extended with a huge yellow annex that towers over the center.
Locals sometimes call it the cheese grater. Once you see it, you'll understand why.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable. But that is Tirana right now, constantly reshaping itself, mixing old and new in ways that don't always agree.
Just beside it is one of the city's newer icons, a building shaped like Skanderbeg's head. You'll spot it immediately once you know what you're looking at.
Tirana's full of surprises like that. Modern architecture popping up right next to communist blocks and Italian-era buildings. It's a city in flux, and that contrast is part of its charm.
And across from the hotel is the National Theatre of Opera and Ballet, one of Albania's main cultural venues.
It was first built in 1953 and reopened in 2020 after a massive renovation. They host everything from ballets and classical concerts to national performances.
Tickets are usually only available at the box office, so if you want to go, follow them on Instagram to see what's going on.
Even if you're not into opera, it's worth a visit. The building's gorgeous inside and it lights up beautifully at night. Right next to the opera, you'll find Café Botanica, one of those spots everyone in Tirana ends up at sooner or later.
It's a great place to grab a coffee during the day or a drink before the show at the opera. The terrace gives you one of the best people-watching views in the center.
From there, we head over to Pedestrian bookstore, one of the few places in the city where you can actually find English-language books, especially non-fiction.
They've got a small but solid selection, plus some good Albanian authors in translation if you're trying to get a feel for the local literature.
Behind the opera and the bookstore is Tonal Club, a small music venue that somehow has two locations in the same building.
Yeah, summer shows are up on the roof. Great views, but it's about 4 flights of stairs, and you'll want to go early because the police usually shut it down around midnight.
In winter, everything moves downstairs into the basement. Same vibe, but louder and warmer. Like most venues in Albania, if you want to know what's on, just check their Instagram. That's where all the real information lives. From here, we double back towards the Skanderbeg Mosque, one of the oldest buildings in Tirana and one of the few that survived the communist period.
It was built in the late 1700s and reopened for worship in 1991 after decades of closure. That reopening was actually one of the first public religious gatherings after communism ended. Kind of a big deal in Albania's modern history.
On Fridays, the mosque fills up for prayers. It gets so busy that people spill outside and pray on the square. It's a beautiful, peaceful scene, and everyone just makes space for it.
Right next to it is the big equestrian statue of Skanderbeg, Albania's national hero again, watching over the square. There's a little park behind it where families gather, kids play, and there's usually at least one lady selling sunflower seeds.
It's such a typical Tirana detail. No matter how much the city changes, she's always there.
Across the street, you'll find the Puppet Theater. It hosts shows for children, mostly in Albanian, but it's worth knowing about if you've got kids or just want to see something truly local.
It's housed in one of the older Italian-era buildings and keeps that retro charm. Bright posters, tiny seats, and an atmosphere that hasn't really changed in decades. From here, we head towards the Resurrection Cathedral, the main Orthodox church in Tirana, though most people just call it the Orthodox Cathedral.
It's one of the largest in the Balkans and was only completed in 2012. The original cathedral was destroyed during the communist period, so this one was built completely from scratch after religion was allowed again.
The interior is stunning. White marble, gold accents, and a huge dome that fills the space with light. You can usually step inside quietly between services, and it's open to everyone.
And underneath the church, there's actually an event space used for conferences, exhibitions, and community gatherings. Another example of how buildings here tend to multitask.
Just across the street from the cathedral is the House of Leaves. We actually forgot to film it, but I did take some photos a while ago, and it's too interesting not to mention it.
It used to be the headquarters of Albania's secret police during the communist era. Today it's a museum about surveillance, interrogation, and how the regime monitored its own citizens.
It's small but powerful, and the name comes from the vines that cover the building, hiding what it once was.
From there, you step into the area of the ministerial buildings, mid-century government offices with that heavy administrative feel.
At the end of that stretch, you'll find Bunker 2, one of Tirana's underground museums built inside a real Cold War bunker.
It was once part of a secret network of tunnels under the Ministry of Interior. Now it's a museum about Albania's communist past and political persecution.
It's smaller than Bunker 1 up near Daiti Mountain, but it's right here in the center, the dome entrance rising straight out of the ground. Definitely worth a visit if you want to understand what life was really like here during those years. And if you've got more time, I actually recommend taking the bus up to Bunker 1. It's bigger, deeper underground, and gives you a full picture of the bunker system. Next stop, the Plaza Hotel, officially the Maritime Plaza Tirana. You can't miss it. 24 floors of glass and concrete rising right out of the center.
It's one of the city's landmark hotels, sleek, modern, and home to the Grand Casino Tirana in the basement. Just remember, if you're playing, the casino only takes euros.
Good tip, and the hotel is not just for guests. The lobby cafe is actually a quiet spot if you ever need a calm corner downtown.
From there, it's a short walk to Toptani Shopping Center, the biggest modern mall in the middle of the city.
Toptani's packed with international brands, a few local shops, and a top-floor gym. It's, as far as I'm aware, the only gym open 24 hours in the city, really modern, and one of the few proper gyms right at the center.
And once you step outside the mall, you're immediately in the Castle of Tirana.
The castle walls date back to the Byzantine period, and the whole area was redeveloped a few years ago into a pedestrian courtyard.
Now it's full of cafés, wine bars, and artisan shops tucked inside the old stone walls. It's small, but it's one of the nicest places in the center to slow down for a bit.
Locals usually come here for dinner or a relaxed evening drink. It's calm, atmospheric, and feels hidden even though you're only steps away from the main road. From Kalaja, that's the castle, we cross over into Pedonalia, the main pedestrian street that cuts right through the center of Tirana.
It's lined with cafes and small shops, and it's home to the Millennium Cinema, actually the only cinema in the city center that you can walk to.
They usually show movies in English with Albanian subtitles, which is great if you don't speak the language yet. There's also the Millennium Garden restaurant right next door, a bit pricier because of the location, but lovely to sit outside during the day.
Just a few minutes from there, you'll find Rhea, or the Cloud. It's that white steel sculpture that everyone sits on, climbs, or meets under.
It was designed by a Japanese architect and has become one of Tirana's best-known landmarks. Small concerts and art events are often held here, and during the summer it even turns into an open-air cinema. The screenings used to be in the park, but they've moved here now.
Across the road is Parku Rinia, literally Youth Park. With the Taiwan Center in the middle, it's got fountains, cafés, restaurants, and believe it or not, another casino tucked inside.
Families come during the day, and at night it's more of a laid-back drink spot. Nothing fancy, but always lively.
From here, we head over to the St. Paul's Cathedral, the main Catholic church in Tirana.
It's bright and modern, built in the early 2000s, and as far as I know, it's the only Catholic church in the city with an English language service, Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. But double check the schedule because, as always, times can change.
And just beyond that is the Great Mosque, one of the largest in the Balkans. It's recently reopened after many years of reconstruction.
It's enormous, beautifully detailed inside, and a key part of the city's skyline now. Even if you're not Muslim, it's an impressive place to see, especially around Friday prayers when the whole area fills with people.
And from here, we make our way back to Skanderbeg Square to finish the tour, right where we started. And that's the center of Tirana, the part everyone sees first, but not necessarily where most people end up spending their days.
It's packed with history, culture, and landmarks worth knowing, but when it comes to choosing where to live, you'll probably find your favorite spots just outside of here.
Next, we're heading into Tirana's neighborhoods, the places people actually live, shop, and hang out.
So stay tuned, because this is where your new life in Albania really starts.